Hello, everyone. I'm Anthea Mulakala, and I'm the co-lead of the Asia Foundation's Future Skills Alliance. Today, I want to talk to you about an urgent need, future-proofing skills in the Asia-Pacific region. At the Asia Foundation, we are committed to delivering future skills at scale to underserved communities. We foster collaboration between governments, private companies, and nonprofit organizations, harnessing collective resources to amplify our impact and reach those disproportionately impacted by the digital revolution. One persistent issue we face is the global gender gap in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In the Asia-Pacific region, this lack of gender equity is most apparent in engineering and information technology education, where only 21% and 29% of tertiary graduates are women. To address this, we have created the STEM Connector program. This initiative supports and empowers young women, fostering diversity and inclusion in STEM through mentoring, learning responses, and a peer-to-peer regional community of women in STEM. Here's how we're making a difference. First, we're investing in the future. STEM Connector prepares young women for careers in critical fields, driving innovation and economic growth. Second, we're bridging the gender gap. We're tackling the underrepresentation of women in STEM, creating a more equitable and diverse workforce. Third, we're nurturing talent. We recognize the immense potential of young women in STEM and provide them with the resources and support to succeed. And we're building a pipeline. STEM Connector inspires and motivates young girls to pursue STEM education and careers, ensuring future generations of women leaders. Join us in our mission to empower women in STEM. Together, we can build a more equitable future. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. We'll just begin shortly. Let me just share my slides. So good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. On behalf of the STEM Connector program, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of you joining us for this very insightful webinar on the future of additive manufacturing, trends, and future applications. We're thrilled to have an industry leader like Elena Lasso joining us from HP. Today, Elena brings a wealth of expertise in additive manufacturing and has been at the forefront of driving innovation in this rapidly changing field. We are incredibly fortunate today to hear from someone who's shaping the future of manufacturing technology, pushing its boundaries, and exploring the endless possibilities of 3D printing. As we all know, additive printing has made significant strides in recent years, transforming industries from healthcare to aerospace to automotive and even fashion. Today, we'll explore the trends that are defining the future of this really exciting technology, whether it's design or prototyping or production. So there's a lot to learn from today's webinar. Now, whether you're an engineer, designer, researcher, or simply curious about the future of manufacturing, we hope today's session will inspire you, spark new ideas, and provide valuable insights into how additive manufacturing can be leveraged in the future. I encourage you to engage with the speaker. Here is the agenda for today. I'll just give a brief overview of the STEM Connector program, and then we'll hear from Elena. We will be leaving time for Q&A. So please use that time to ask any questions, share any comments. You can use the chat feature here to put your questions or comments. And we'll make sure you'll have time to hear Elena address those at the end of the session. You will also get an opportunity to earn a certificate of participation at the end. I will share how you can get that certificate. And I also just want to mention that this session is being recorded. Now, before we start, I just want to give you a little overview of the STEM Connector program through which we have made this webinar possible. This program is designed and brought to you by the Asia Foundation. We are an international nonprofit that works in 20 countries across Asia Pacific. We've been working in this region for over 70 years in a range of social and economic issues. Our STEM Connector falls under our Future Skills programming, which specifically addresses the gender imbalance that exists in STEM. Women are systematically underrepresented in STEM, not just in Asia, but across the globe, as we can see from this graph from the World Economic Forum that shows that women's participation in STEM is significantly lower than non-STEM careers. Only less than 30% of employees in STEM are women, and this number drops to around 12% as you go up the career ladder. Now, why does this happen? The Asia Foundation has conducted research looking at Asia and speaking to women across Asia, trying to understand what are the root causes for this underrepresentation. And across the board, across the countries, what we hear is that lack of mentors, lack of access to networks, discourages women from not only entering, but staying in STEM careers. And we've tried to address this by designing this program that brings these opportunities to build knowledge, confidence, and networks by a range of activities. Now, we do this by offering young women like yourselves access to regional mentors through our platform. You can directly connect with mentors from all our corporate partners, and you can either do a one-on-one mentoring or a group mentoring session. We do industry speaker series like the one today. This is a monthly feature that we have where you learn from experts about tech trends and skills and knowledge, and also soft professional skills. We also allow for peer-to-peer networking, where you can connect with young women like yourselves from all across the Asia Pacific on our platform, and also through in-person programming. We offer office tours where we take students to our corporate partner offices in 5 key countries this year have been part of the program, which include India, Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, and Korea. If you are based in any of these countries, you can connect with us to join one of our office tours, where you get to experience what transitioning from school to workplace would look like. You get office tours, you get tech demos, you get to speak and interact with current leaders who are working in our corporate partner offices. You also have access through this program to self-paced learning resources that have been made available by our corporate partners that are all available for free on our platform. And as you complete these programming, you can earn certificate and badges that you can add to your CV or LinkedIn profile. Now, how can you connect with us? How can you connect with all these programming that we offer? The easiest way is to scan the QR code that you can see on the bottom right, or use the URL. It takes less than 2 minutes to set up a profile, but the more you complete the profile, you give details, the better our AI can match you with potential mentors and opportunities. We've had a monthly speaker series that you can join, like the one that you have joined today. Today's session is the last one for 2024. But if you've missed our previous sessions, the recordings of all of them are available on our platform that you can go and view. And we will be continuing this program in 2024. So connect with us to learn about the 2025 programming. Again, keep an eye out for our industry visit announcements. We just had one in Estee Lauder last week. And we continue, you can see all our corporate partners listed below. We organize visits to their office through the course of the year. Again, our learning resources library is also live, which is accessible through our platform. So if you sign up, you can have free access to that. And finally, we have our mentors on our platform. We have over 100, we have over 115 mentors right now, again, from our corporate partners that you can connect with directly on our platform. So do register if you haven't already. And if you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat, or I'll also share our email address where you can connect with us if you have any questions. Now, without any further delay, I just want to introduce our speaker and hand it over to her. Elena is based in Singapore and is part of the home print business management team at HP. Since January, she's also been managing the HP NTU Digital Manufacturing Joint Lab. In her 17-year career with HP, Elena has held various roles related to R&D, quality, business development, and operations for large format and 3D printing businesses. Elena holds a double master in mechanical engineering and an MBA. Outside of work, Elena loves being outdoors with a good book, crushing a workout, or chairing her three little champions. So we're very excited to hear from you, Elena. I'll stop sharing so you can go ahead and
Sure.
take it.
Yeah, thank you, Marianne. Let me, okay, can I share now? Yeah. Ah, okay. 1 second. Okay. Let me try again. It doesn't allow me to share sound weirdly.
Right. Elena, can you please try again now, sharing your sound?
Yes, now it allows
Yeah.
me. Okay, so thank you, Maureen. You make me blush. I'm very excited by all the tool set that you have within the Asia Foundation to help other young female leaders in STEM. I also feel like a young STEM woman, at least at heart. So let's see how I can help others like me. Today we are going to talk about one of my passions, which is 3D printing and its exciting future. But first, I would like to ask you, how familiar are you with the 3D printing applications? I mean, who can tell me which of these products contain 3D printed parts? You can write in the chat. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, Kunal, you have been studying, eh? Yes, that's right. All of them. All of these products contain 3D printed parts for various reasons, and we will go through them. And I have the pleasure to work for a company that has an amazing 3D printing technology. So I will tell you first a little bit about HP because you may not know about it. So HP is a company that was founded by engineers like 1,000 years ago, okay? That's just kidding, just kidding. This is only 85 years. But many people don't know that our company is really intimately linked with the foundation of Silicon Valley. You can look it up. The important part is that it is really a company powered by engineers' innovation, and it still is. So within our portfolio of products, everybody knows printers, PCs. I mean, yeah, that's very common. Everybody knows about it. But we also have like a great gaming division, and we produce very large printers, which wouldn't fit in a badminton court. I'm sure that many of you didn't even know till today that we have a 3D printing division. And now that 3D printing division is like 10 years old. I feel old only by talking about it because I was there since the beginning. So, you know, HP is much more than just amazing technology. We are in this planet to last, and we have a responsibility on how we make businesses. Our business is only as good as the people that make it. So every year, HP is our sustainability report that contains the progress we've made to our 20 goals. And our goals are climate action, human rights, and digital equity. So I don't know if you're very familiar with that, but for example, within climate action, what does this mean? This means that every year we make sure that our products are greener and greener. We use more recycled material in our products or the packaging, or we make them to last longer so they don't have to be trashed. No? On the human rights. So we are also, another example would be that we are committed to gender equality in leadership. So we have set the target of 50% women in executive positions by 2030. Or what does it mean on digital equity? Well, digital equity, we have a commitment to give access to technology to everyone. So in this case, our target is 150 million people by 2030, and we have already reached out to 45 million. These kind of commitments are born by each of us, and they are part of our culture. Our culture is probably the greatest legacy of our founders. I often joke with my colleagues that if HP employees get a cut, their blood is probably blue, but not royal blue. It's like really HP blue. One moment. And that's only possible because we really feel like a blood family. We have the open door policy, which means that executives do not have offices. They really sit in the same floor as the rest of the employees. Everybody's warm. You are open to ask questions to everyone. Sharing is important. So that's what you get. That's the real HP spirit since the times of Dave and Bill. Everybody belongs. And an important part of make everybody belong within HP are those business resource groups or interest groups that we have. For example, I'm showing the ones in Singapore. We have disabilities, next generation, women, pride. In United States, we also have Latino, African American, sustainability. You can definitely find your crew, and you can be your full self at HP. In my case, I form part of the Women Business Resource Group in Singapore because it is my passion to help other young and not so young women in their careers or just to feel they belong within HP. And this has been my case because in my case, I have been a lifetime with HP, 17 years already. And I know that we want to talk about 3D printed, but Marin also asked me to share a little bit about my career. So I feel a little bit shy about it, but I think it's good it's good to open up. So you will learn more about myself, no? This is just my story. No heroines here, not amazing a script twist by a change of luck. Like many of you, I chose a very tech career. I was a good student in high school, plenty of choices, so I chose engineering. And then what I have marked here with the lining is that I think I have made 3 major life decisions in my professional career. In those decisions, I have bet highly on myself. And for each of these decisions, I have been very lucky to have had a whisperer around me when I made these decisions in my career that told me, hey, you can do this. The first one is pretty obvious, no? I went abroad to study for a couple of years in a foreign country. And in this case, it was Sweden. For me, it was a major change. I come from Spain, warm weather, party spirit, the sun. And Sweden is all about brutal nature, the snow, cold, also very dark in winter, silent people, lovely people, but definitely different. And I was open. I had also the opportunity to liaise with people from all around the world that were also in these international programs. When I came back, HP was hiding. So I broke again my family's heart and I went to live to another city, Barcelona, in Spain. And I started my life love with HP started there. I started as an R&D mechanical engineer, and I spent a few years in my first job. But throughout the time, I realized that I could contribute farther. I had not taken any program management subject during university. I had done this double masters in mechanical engineering. I had taken the most difficult technical subjects, not caring about the rest. But when I was there in the company, I felt that I could actually do more. So I had this female leader that was working with me at the time, and she told me, "Hi, you could do this, So I took a loan, and that was probably my second disruption. Is I took a loan and I went to do my part-time MBA while I was working, and it was pretty hard. It basically meant I had no free time. I had after work, I would run home to study, prepare all my cases. Then in the weekends, we had the face-to-face classes. But definitely it was worth every drop of sweat. my career exploded after this. At that time, HP was founding the 3D printing business in Barcelona. So I could use all the technical knowledge that I had from my past time as mechanical design, plus all the newly business knowledge that I had gotten from the MBA. And I became one of these key persons to help develop the market, talking to customers and telling them what the technology could do and at what cost. So talking to operation managers, procurement managers, yeah, I became quite indispensable. And that gave me also an opportunity to have a sneak peek in other industries. No, I was in the, printers, PCs industry, but suddenly with 3D printing, we were talking to footwear companies, or we were talking to medical devices companies, and wow, I learned a lot about many different industries with companies that wanted to disrupt them. So talking about disruption, my next disruption decision was around 2020. I entered into this HP HR program, which is very focused to catalyze women's career. And I got a great sponsor, a female executive sponsor. So through my conversations with her, and also it was COVID time, it's a time for reflection for all of us. I decided that I wanted to make a big change and take the opportunity of working for an international company to go and live abroad. Maybe this was kind of my midlife crisis. I don't know. But I looked for positions open within my company, and I liaised with everybody that I knew within my company to learn what was happening. And finally, I got a job in HP Singapore that had a relocation package. So I moved to Singapore at the time with my husband, my 2 children, and also I was pregnant of the third one. And I don't regret it at all. I mean, I'm having the time of my life, and we are learning as a family a ton. Some things that we wouldn't have ever been exposed if we had stayed in Spain. HP is definitely my company. It will take a lot for me to change that. I have been on many different functions, closer to the markets, closer to the business, closer to R&D. And today I'm super lucky again. I am a dual head. So on one side, I am part of the business planning and strategy team for the home printer division, the printers that you have at home. But I am also the director of the HP NTU joint lab. And this latter is also my way to continue to develop my passion on technology. Together with the university, we fund research projects that advance HP's innovation in many areas. That means that we're working with professors with the university and pre-doc and postdoc researchers in a few areas. Some of them are 3D printing, cybersecurity, sustainability, and of course, AI. So part of my day is all about the business, contribution margins, the financials, while the other is all about imagining the future. And I love it. And I can do it in the same company. And I think this uniqueness is embraced by my leaders in HP. And I don't know if I would be able to do it anywhere else. So my blood is blue. So this was a very long introduction about myself, but I hope that you can relate to me on how is it possible to be in a STEM career, stay in a company for a long time, and be able to develop on many areas. And that's something definitely HP offers, even international moves. So let's go a little bit into the 3D printing. This has definitely too long. So HP announced its 3D printing technology in 2014, and it released the first technology, which was the plastic one, in 2016. What does it mean? So HP produces the printers, the machinery that is used by others to produce 3D printed parts. And there are many 3D printers in the markets. There are many that are even under $200. that you can have at home and produce your own parts, and that are great projects to have with your kids, if you may. But HP is focused on industrial 3D printing. So this is how the plastic HP 3D printers look like. Okay, so you have an idea. They're quite big, right? So a little bit later, we also announced the metal solution. And the technology principle on how does it work is very similar. So I'll go through the plastic one first, and I hope that you can follow. And then I will make the connection with the metal. But we do have two types of solutions: the ones that are more driven to make plastic parts, and the ones that are driven to make metal parts, and they are different. So our technology is a layer by layer technology. You should imagine like a flat surface around 30 centimeters to 40 centimeters, in which we deposit a very thin layer of powder plastic. If you were not to print any part, you will just end, because you will be layering powder layer after powder layer with like a bin of flour-like powder, because it's a white powder. But the moment that you apply an agent, if you look at the second picture, you would only apply this agent in the area that you want the material to be fused. And then the plastic will solidify. How will we do it? We will apply an external source of heat that will fuse that area, only the area that has the agent, not the rest of it. At the end of the process, you will still get a container full of flour-like plastic, but within it, you will find these fused parts embedded, the solidified plastic parts. And the case of metal is very similar, but the temperatures that we use for the process are low. So for metal, the parts are not fused within the printer. What you get is that they are joined by this agent that acts like a binder, and then you will need to do a secondary process that you do in a furnace at much higher temperatures to actually get the fusion of the metal. So what are these technologies used for? No, that's the main question. Are they profitable? Does it make sense? Why do people use them? Who are our customers? I think I put this information here so you can see that there is a few name brands that are using our technology for the products, and they are known brands. Now let's go a little bit more into where are we and what kind of parts do we make. So why 3D? In footwear, any guess? Well, designers can make unique shoes, but also now with our technology, they can produce them at scale. You can do things with 3D, intricate designs that are not possible to do today in other technologies. Or even we can do customized shoes, customized footwear, for example, for a performance runner that wants to run the marathon. You would study the gait of this person. You would study the foot shape, where does the runner put the pressure when they run, and you could design around it to get the best sneaker to run a marathon. So actually, we released last year with Brooks, the running brand. We designed the first. I would say the first child shoe that is pointing into this direction, working with HP's technology to get to this fully customized footwear for performance. In automotive, we've worked with luxury brands. For example, luxury brands, they would like to customize their high-end products, or they also want to enable prototyping or production at early stages, so with lower number of parts. And in these areas, our technology has the perfect cost performance balance. I will talk later about the orthotics and prosthetics because I'm going to focus a little bit more on it. But in the industrial market, well, this was, for example, the job of my previous department when I moved here to Singapore. We have an internal center that provides all types of fixtures, jigs, and tooling that cater our own manufacturing lines in Southeast Asia. The technology is faster than actually outsourcing it, and it's generally cheaper. So that's the way that we keep our lines from having to wait for part replacement. It's not just us, HP, as a manufacturing center. I mean, also other manufacturing companies for consumer products have adopted our technology as a lifeline support of the manufacturing lines. Dental and 3D printing have been always intimately linked. Dentists or clusters of dentists have been 3D printing their devices for a long time. But with the release of these new industrial 3D printing technologies, you have reached another roof. You know, all these invisible aligners? Now they're way cheaper than they were 10 years ago. And that is only possible because of these industrial 3D printing technologies. And of course, there are exploratory markets which are doing quite well. The customized spectacles is one, and the industry of drones, which is unfortunately flourishing these past years. And the needs that it has is it needs to have very lightweighted but strong structures. So the 3D printing technology would be a great fit. So let me go back to the orthotics and prosthetics. I wanted to leave orthotics and prosthetics as the last one because it's the one that I keep closer to my heart. I worked for a long time on it, and I'm still working because I hold the relationships. And even here in Southeast Asia, I am working with some doctors to make a few projects reality. So listening to the doctors, the patients, the orthotechnicians, reading all the reports have been my companion, and it's still my personal interest. I want to show you a couple of videos so you understand what is the benefit of using 3D printing in this area. Let me show you. Okay.
Bara is a young girl who was born very early. She has hyperextension in knees and collapse of foot. That's why she needs a orthosis.
Imedical is a biomedical startup which is focused on the application of digital technologies in the field of custom-made orthotics and prosthetics.
3D printed helmet helps us to use a minimal invasive technique for treatment of craniosynostosis.
With multi-jet fusion technology, we are able to design and print out directly the final product. The process is faster and the product is lighter and more comfortable.
We compare the plastic orthosis and the 3D printed orthosis, and the result was better if wearing the 3D printed orthosis.
Tato ortéza je velice lehká, tenká a vleze se do téměř každých bot, co u předchozích bot nebylo. Byl problém koupit boty, protože byly příliš mohutné, masivní, takže to nešlo. Žilba, jo.
We design a perfectly fitting device with few clicks in few minutes, and the device is printed to the next day and delivered to be fitted to a patient. With HP, we can make not only custom-made advanced products, but also products that are affordable.
3D printing technology will change our industry, the field of custom-made orthotics and prosthetics.
Pro štěpánka je lepší tahle helma, protože je lehčí, má v ní víc prostoru, má lepší motoriku a je v ní spokojenější.
With 3D printing by HP, we can disrupt the whole industry by providing patients all around the globe with new advanced products that can improve their lives.
So I even brought today some of these orthotics that we are using. This is the example of the helmet. I know that you guys cannot touch it, but you can see that the intricate design that we can do, and also it's really soft. We can tweak the materials like something that you will be never able to do on injection molding or other technologies. So it's really lighter and it really fits the young children. Additionally, we also have this is what is called the ankle foot orthosis, similar to the ones that the girl is wearing unfortunately for the kids that have to use them. I mean, they need them to have further support in the ankle and be able to walk properly without twisting the feet. So this is another example. And one of my
Bara is
the next one. So I also showing one of our most important applications here is that is the prosthetic sockets. So 3D printing allows you to play with the design, to have like flexible materials. I have an example here that you can play with the design to be as flexible or as rigid as you want. So we have working with different companies to do also prosthetic devices. In this case, this is a socket for below the knee amputation. And it comprehends two type of materials: a softer one that is inside, similarly to the one that you show in the video, and a more rigid portion on the outer shell that will give the support that the patient needs to be able to walk again. So it's terrible to say, but this market cannot stop growing. Our sedentary lifestyle is raising the number of diabetic amputees and stroke. Stroke patients are usually recommended to use ankle foot orthosis, similarly to this one, because after the stroke, one of their sides of the body gets seriously damaged, and they need this kind of orthosis to get back and be able to walk, be able to work, be able to provide for their families. But as I'm showing today, the process is very manual. The traceability is lost within the manufacturing, and usually there has to be repeated fitting. So what we envision at HP is to work with these physicians to develop a fully digital solution. So we're working with doctors and orthotic companies and partners to enable this. And it would go from digital measuring to scanning to production. Some companies, as Invent Medical, the one that I showed before, are claiming that they are doing this, and they are. But why hasn't it still been fully adopted? Doctors don't really want to lose the control of the process. They want, even when companies are already providing this kind of solutions, what is happening there? No, so we want to ask the doctors. Yeah, they want to be on top of what they do, but they are not mechanical designers, and the tools that they are provided today to them, they are not suited for their skills. I mean, I don't know if any of you has CAD before, but the interface for engineering design is an interface for engineers. It's not really for doctors. So that's a huge barrier today for adoption. So we're working again with these key partners, doctors and orthotics companies to go and cross the chasm with them. And what we think that is very exciting today is that AI has definitely arrived here, no? So AI is becoming part of the solution. We know that the AI and machine learning solutions have been there for a while, but it's only now with the launch of the LLMs in 2023 that we see a democratization of the technology, right? When we were talking about digital access on sustainability, yeah? And thus a lower cost for it. So HP is working with these companies to actually manufacture this kind end-to-end solution for physicians. So it's really easy for them to adopt, and they can focus on what is important, that is being with the patients. So what would it comprehend? An end-to-end solution would entitle capturing the data, then having a really smooth link to the design interface. I know that you may not be familiar with the technology today, but when you scan a living thing, is usually a file full of errors. And you need the help of AI solutions to actually clean it up and recognize like a foot looks like a foot. And these are the areas, we call them landmarks, in which I have to fix my medical device, my orthotic device or my prosthetic to have the patient put the right pressure on those areas or actually unrelease the pressure depending on what we are talking about. With that kind of landmarks identification and the design, we also would like to get like the best possible design for every kind of person. No, it's not the same to get into, for example, the traumatic amputees like soldiers, no, that they usually very active people that have serious requirements because they want to go back and maybe they want to do a sports run, they want to cycle, the people that are very active. Those are not the higher percentage of the population, and unfortunately the higher population that it gets amputated is those diabetic amputees. They are not the persons with the most mobility or strength, so you actually need lightweighted devices that has ventilation, that is easy to fit on and off, not very complicated, that a caretaker can help them to fit. So they have different requirements, and we have to help the doctors with the right designs. And of course, the doctors are also not operation managers from manufacturing facilities. They don't need to be an expert on the process or have the control parameters. So we also want to help them get control of the manufacturing itself so it's easier for them. And it all has to happen within the hospital management software, ensuring the security, ensuring the patient data traceability, the data privacy, and the device traceability itself in the workflow. All those things are closer to wishes than reality, but AI is definitely accelerating them. I do have an example of what is the state of the art technology today. So let me walk you through it. So this is a solution that HP has for insoles. So you see the dots that you see on the slide, those are the landmarks that we call, and that you detect those areas where you do the scan. The scan has already been cleared out. And then just with the sliders or selection buttons, the doctor can actually select what they need for this patient to correct their fit. Okay. This seems quite smooth, huh? But this is just the insole sockets for amputees. It's still another process. I cannot wait to see what AI has to bring. Fortunately, our design team, our 3D printing design team that we have in the US just released the following video of what they are doing in another field, but just to give you an inspiration. So just look at what is happening today. It's totally another field, but you can already design just by doing prompt texting. So I really feel that we are months away from the revolution that we can bring to orthotics and prosthetics. Hopefully soon. This is a team that works very closely with our gaming division to make all these cool customizations to our to all the accessories for gamers. So I hope that you are as excited as I am with this next turn in 3D printing. And if you want to come and look for a job with us, there are many opportunities, and we are in many locations in Asia. We are in Singapore, Malaysia, Korea, Japan, and we will be happy to have you. We are looking for diversity today. You already saw our goals to get 50-50. So I don't know, Maureen, back to you.
Thank you so much. This was so insightful, and we really appreciate your taking the time to share not just about what's happening in this field, but also your personal journey, which was really, inspiring to all of us. And I just want to thank you on behalf of the STEM Connector community for sharing what an impactful and innovative field this is. And I hope a lot of the participants got inspired to join this field. There's one question I already see that I can ask. Somebody's asked, are there any challenges you faced as a woman in pursuing a career in additive manufacturing or HP? I guess in HP, if there's anything you want to share, coming as a woman, was there anything unique about your journey?
I would say that the only challenge that you find is probably yourself, no? So there are many things in the society that push you and tell you like, you shouldn't take that promotion because, you know, you want to get pregnant next month, or this is not the time for you to double down on your work because you're starting a family. I mean, in my case, those things, if you see my career, have come pretty close. I don't know if it was my MBA training that was, doing a lot of things at the same time, working while doing the MBA, but definitely I am all about balance. HP has allowed me to develop a professional career where I have been developed as a person. I'm a mom. I'm a spouse. I'm a mom. I am friend of my friends. So I would say totally the contrary. I mean, HP, I have always found a lot of support from male sponsors and female sponsors to help me succeed. There's always someone, there's always something, but it's not it's not they're not the main, definitely not the main ones. You always listen to something that you don't want to hear, but I would say that that's everywhere. No, I cannot think of a challenge. It's only yourself.
That's a good mindset to have. There's another question that I see. The question is that what are the economic barriers to adopting additive manufacturing on a larger scale, and how can these be addressed?
Very good question, and definitely on a spot. So 3D printing is not for every application. One of the reasons behind it is that today, most of the things that we see around us are made by manufacturing techniques that have been long in our planet. Like injection molding, I think is already more than 100 years old. That means that just the raw material of the injection molding is like, I think it's like 10 times cheaper than the 3D printing raw material. So you're already at a disadvantage in that sense. What it means is that if you really want to overcome that, we have to scale our economy. And the only way to scale our economy is to get more and more users. So then when you go to the main plastic manufacturing companies, they will have reactors instead of having the lower ton reactors in which they produce our materials today. They will have the higher ton reactors, and therefore, the economies of scale is basically the economies of scale. The raw materials is definitely one, and the other is more on the adoption, the cost of training, the cost of changing the mindset of people, in which I think that AI is going to help. So in order to print, but also in the order to inject a part or CNC, or mechanize a part, you need the original digital file. So how do you come to digitization? No? That was the problem that the doctors have. Today, they know by pressure how to do their socket. They know by pressure and they model by pressure. How can we actually help them to digitize all that content into something easier? And the tools are getting ready, but they are not there yet. So then what you have today is time from people, and time is expensive too. So I think that those are definitely the two main costs.
Sure. But I guess in the future, we'll see changes coming in this as, like you said, AI and the cost of raw material goes down. If you don't mind, thank you for putting up these QR codes. If you can stop sharing, then I'd like to share while we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I just, in the interest of time, just also wanted to share the QR code where people can give us feedback while we continue with the Q&A. Let me just pull this up. Not share this. Okay. So again, I'm just going to put this QR code if you want to sign up for the platform. I do have another question while people, sign up or type in more questions. So what technical skills or knowledge do you think would be essential for, like, if we have students right now, what kind of courses or skills should they be adding if they want to pursue a career in HP in the future, at HP or in additive manufacturing in general? So what would be helpful for them? What advice would you give to them?
Okay, so I tell you what I look into when I'm hiring, no? I look at people that maybe it's complicated because we all have biases. But I look at people that have initiative, that have creative skills, that basically they do not only do they focus into their daily job or studies, but also look outside, that have hobbies, that have a life. I also look at people that have the capability of building things themselves, that looks like initiative. I look for initiative, so clues of initiative. Those things, let me tell you, I mean, they're very basic, no? So many of you will feel already recognized in those, no? And then, of course, I mean, I look for a proven track of record of excellence, of course, like you have a good curriculum, how are your degrees? I mean, what are your successes? How do you talk about them? That's the other thing that is important, no? How you talk about them. And the visibility that you give to your success, and that maybe is another advice, is not only that you do your job well, you have to learn to talk about your job. And that is the presentation card that you can use in every aspect of your life, not just professionally. So that's another thing that I would add. Yeah. How do you talk about you and your success?
Yeah. I mean, I guess having strong communication skills is an asset, right? And to be able to tell your story is a very valuable skill to have. Are there any certifications or courses that you suggest would be beneficial for students?
Okay, that's a tough one. I'm not really.
Okay. That's all right. That's okay. Didn't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
That's the Q&A we have, unless I don't see anything else. But I found this really helpful, and especially the resources that you shared towards the end. For all of you who are here, please take a minute to scan this QR code and provide us feedback about any other topics that you'd want us to cover next year in our speaker series, or just general feedback. And when you complete this feedback form, you can also you will receive a certificate of participation that will be sent to the email that you enter in this form. So it takes less than 2 minutes. Please go ahead and scan this before you log off. Please do share your feedback with us and earn your certificate. So thank you again, Elena. I for one, really enjoyed hearing about additive manufacturing. This is something I knew of, but I didn't know exactly how many different fields this is impacting and how much potential it has. It's certainly something I'm going to keep an eye out for and see where the trends are taking us. There's a lot of potential for impact, for doing good, being in this industry. So thank you for sharing that with us today.
Yeah. Thank you, Marina, and thank you, Kunal, for having me today. I'm definitely very interested in your mentorship platform, and I will share also with my peers here in the executive committee for the Women Business Resource Group. I think that's a great asset that you have, and the work that you do is amazing.
Thank you for your support. We'd love to have you as a mentor, your colleagues as a mentor on our platform. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elena.
Thank you.
Marin, is it okay to close the session or should we wait for a minute?
Can we just wait? Elena, if you want to log
Sure.
off, you can wait. I think, okay. I think there's some issue with the feedback form. We'll make the edit. I think
Yeah.
there's somebody saying that the name on the feedback form is not correct. We'll make that edit and I will email to all the participants. I will email the correct link and then send it to you. Thank you for pointing that out. So if you're having any issues with the feedback form, I'll go ahead and email it to you on the email addresses that you use to register on Zoom. So just watch out for that email and then you can provide your feedback. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elena.
Okay, bye. Have a good one.
Bye.